Alright guys, the countdown is over and it's time to start. Good evening and welcome to Vaidya's Chess Hub, and it is the day when I offer you my feedback. I'll share with you what I feel after analyzing your games, and well, Dishen is here. I'm looking at some selective names because Dishen is one of those students who will have the feedback today. So Dishen, I hope that you're watching it with your parents, or maybe at least a parent, maybe your dad, your mom. I did see Rupak, so I think he is with us here as well. Rupak, I hope that you are there, man, because yeah, he is also the student to get the feedback. Our moderators are here. Itesh is here. Raj is here, and NY, Namish Dake is here. Right, that's right. And Sagar is here. Granth Utekar is here. Says hi. And Dishan says yes, sure. And by the way, I don't have my cap on, so I think now it's safe for me to not wear the cap. Had a seriously zero kind of a hairstyle earlier. It's growing, so I guess I'm okay now. And now we'll move on to our first of the feedbacks. Please make sure that you type it in the chat. Jay and Itesh, do not forget your responsibility. Your responsibility is to type or highlight the points that are in bold, highlight any particular line that I think is important that I said. Again, before we start, 11th and 14th, not 11 to 14, 11th and 14th. We'll have holiday. The other days, yes, the Ganesh festival start from the 10th, but that being a Friday, it won't really affect us. So let's start. The feedback session for today, September 4th, Saturday it is, by yours truly. And the first one is Rupak Gokhale. So Rupak, I hope that you are there with us, and the other moderators also acknowledge the fact that yes, they will do it. So look at Rupak Gokhale's statistics. Rupak underscore 4408, that's his ID, but 3 games only in rapid and 3 games only in classical. So Rupak, now you better start typing here. Like, I want to know what's the reason for so less number of games here. Like 6 games, rapid and classical total, and the data is good as of this morning. You can see September 4, 0929 hours. So this is really not enough. You have to play more. You have to spend more time on leeches. This is 100% not done. Very important. You must play more games. And well, I hope that he is here. Somebody is asking questions in the chat whether he is here. Well, if he should be here, and if not, then maybe you should watch it offline later. And it's not fair actually to miss the feedback session at any cost, because then that's the time when your coach actually interacts with you almost like one-on-one. So the parents should miss it, shouldn't miss it, and the students, of course, must not miss it. It's highly recommended that parents be present, especially when it's related to their work. Anyway, let's continue with this. The game completion rate is quite satisfactory. 100%, right? You can't do more than that. Rapid rating is 1384, but there's a question mark because of the number of games. And classical, where the computer is just not willing to give him any rating yet. Says like play more games. It's just a simple question mark there, not even a provisional rating. So you have to play more games there. And I say this again, that this data is good as of this morning. So Rupak, the underlining part, again, Jai highlights that nicely. Play more rapid and classical games. You have to do that. Otherwise, you're not going to make any meaningful progress. Let's start with your performance in the tournament. That is a hub internal tournament. You did actually finish 13th. Could have done much better. Good that you played 10 games. So I'm happy that you are there throughout the tournament. Because if you see Kavish, who finished on the podium, the 3rd spot, also played 10 games. So I'm okay with this. The participation is quite satisfactory. Good. But the performance is quite low. Like 1121, that is below your rapid rating. Although the rapid rating is with a question mark, this is not 100% that, best that you can do. You definitely can do better than this, even at the given level. Of course, you can improve and do even better. But even where you stand as of now, I think this is not what is acceptable. You can definitely do better than that. So he's played 10 games and 2 wins, 2 draws. So yeah, sure. 1-1-2-1, the performance says it all. And the reason why you are not able to do too well is you get too excited with positions. You get into good positions. Make no mistake, Rupak. You get into good positions. You create lovely positions for yourself. But then maybe you are overwhelmed with the fact that you are playing a tournament. Maybe you are not able to control your nerves. That is very visible from your games, limited number of games. And why I say games is because in the hub, right, in this tournament you played 10 games, the external tournament you've played some games. So I've analyzed them perfectly. Outside of those 6 games that we are talking about, you get unduly excited. So you have to control your excitement, you have to control your nerves. Then you will handle positions better. Because if you are nervous, it is, it's inadvertent that, it happens inadvertently. You will make mistakes. Happens with everybody at all levels. So you should control your excitement. Maybe you maybe go into that state of delight, hyper delight, and then you're not able to control the situation. Something like that happens in your games. And why do I say that? So this was your game, Rupak. That's what I'm saying. Look at the title here. Again, too excited. Now what's happening here? This is your game against Namish, the NYD. Huh? This is your game against Namish. Both are, quite good players, but the rating difference is a massive 400 points, almost 400 points. 1196 is you, 1591 is him, and almost 400. So that's good. If you were in a position to beat a player who was 400 points above you, imagine you would have collected some good points here. Okay, and you actually threefold repetition. You repeated the moves. You are the one with the queen up here, and the computer evaluation is plus 8.7. I can't tell you how huge that is. Somebody in the chat can actually tell you how big that is. Plus 8.7. Man, queen's value is 9. You all know that, right? Maybe you can type it in the chat. So the queen's value is 9. We all know that. Like the pawn is 1, the bishop is 3, and the rook is 5, queen is 9. So here, the computer evaluation, Stockfish 14, the engine gives you plus 8.7 at this stage. Comfortably, you are going to win here. Maybe, you are getting too excited and you just repeated the moves. But, by the way, the second point is important here. This was maybe due to the time pressure. Because if you look closely, you've got 14 seconds left at this stage when the game ended in a draw after threefold repetition. You only had 14 seconds. So it was maybe due to that you decided to repeat the moves, and maybe Namish cooperated. Namish, you should have played stronger than this. So if NYD, you're looking at this, you should not have repeated. Agreed that you were losing, but then he didn't have time to convert. So he was looking for a way to draw because he has only 14 seconds. So maybe you had the cushion of 400 points advantage that can overwhelm a player. So NYD, if you are watching this, that was not smart on your part. You could have actually played something else. Although you were losing, your opponent has no time to convert it. You should have played better than that. But okay, this is feedback for Rupak. So Rupak, this is what I mean by, the rating is not really reflecting your true strengths. Rupak Gokhale, you're a stronger player. You're stronger than you think. Okay, than how you estimate yourself. Because look at this position, such a nice position for white. You are winning, and even the draw gave you 4 points. Make no mistake. So this is quite cool, and this should definitely inspire you. That is my highlighting point, that if you are able to do this, the player 400 points above you, you're playing with certain level of confidence. I'm impressed. Very good, Rupak. Now, the draw is always not something to be frowned upon. Sometimes you need those drawing mechanisms and the knowledge of that. For example, this game. Watch this game now, Rupak. Boy, would you love this example or what? This is a perfect time to utilize your drawing technique, to show your drawing technique. You are an exchange down here, and I was very impressed with this. You are an exchange down, and you had again 25 seconds only left, but of course in this case your opponent also has about 28 seconds, and this is against our very own Van friend of Ant-Man. We're talking about, yeah, Aryan. We're talking about him, and he is also about 200 points above you. So this is like bravo, very nice. Okay, so you drew the game, and this is definitely something that I would like to appreciate. Now look at the drawing mechanism here. Beautiful. Queen check, rook will block, queen check, rook will block. There is nothing else to do. It's forced. There is really nothing that white can do in this position. Otherwise, if you play something else where there is back rank threat, queen takes knight is mate, the knight is pinned, the rook can then increase the attack on the knight, and white has more pawns, the pass pawns. White has 3 pass pawns. That's massive. So yeah, again, give yourselves, and the computer, the engine evaluation is also 0.0 on the money. You cannot have a more drawn position than this, man. 0.0. So this is where actually I was impressed. The last threefold repetition I could have done better, but this one is a perfect example of why you also sometimes need to have that knowledge of those, drawn positions. I hope you did enjoy that, people. Those who don't have their feedback today can also type in the chat if there's something that they like. Okay. Now this one is not particularly something that you should be proud about. Watch this. Now this is something that I keep saying every Saturday. I'm only happy that next Saturday I won't have to say this. Not because you play slowly, but because it's holiday on account of Ganesh festival. I end up almost saying this every time. Maybe Jay is tired of highlighting this every time, although he himself is a culprit sometimes of this. What is the rush? Where do you have to go? The suburban trains are not working in Mumbai. So where is it that you have to go? In what rush? What's the rush, Master Gokhale? Where do you have to go? Where to, sir? I mean, look at the time utilized, and that is why you should not miss such sessions. Attending them live is so important. You should give no excuses. If you cannot give me 1 hour when it is time for your feedback, then why do you type in the chat like I want my feedback? You're not there. Is he there, guys, in the chat? I didn't see a chat line from Rupak. Then why do you want the feedback? If you cannot manage 1 hour, when your coach wants to talk to you, you can't give 1 hour, then how serious are you about chess? So, I really am not impressed with this. But just to tell you, maybe you'll watch it offline later. A loss in 12 seconds, 49 seconds, and 27 seconds. So, I mean, even put together, is that 2 minutes? Even all 3 games put together is not even 2 minutes. And you want to talk about how you can become a better player. Well, for to begin with, for starters, how about using some time? And look at this result, okay? The first one, Mohit beat you. The second one, Rupa, you were defeated by Purvesh. And the third one, you were given a beating by Rayansh. You used 12 seconds in the first one. I'm not saying the time left. I'm saying the time used, the time utilized. For a 3-minute game, you use 12 seconds. Man, grandmasters don't do such things. So who are we? So you better start using your time if you have any thoughts, serious dreams of playing, well. So very important that if you total them up, it's still not 2 minutes that I said. 12 plus 14 plus 27 is still not 120 seconds, right? That will make 2 minutes. 3 games put together, and you have 3 minutes per game. Now imagine what I'm saying. If you are going to play this way, then I'm afraid you're going nowhere with this mad rush. Let's talk about your external tournament. Now this one is something that I was impressed with. I was also impressed earlier, I told you, in the hub tournament. Although, I mean, your performance was not up to the mark there, but at least you played about 10, 11 games there, so that was good. Now same here. Now in this one, even your finish is good because you finished in the top 10%. Your um, target is to be in the top 50%, but hey, you overachieved it. You exceeded expectations. So top 10% any day I'll take, and you played 11 games for it. Again, something that maybe your other friends in the chat can appreciate you for this. Top 10% is cool, okay? Top 10% is good. And 11 games you played for that is also good, but the performance was still under par. And why do I say under par? Albeit it's with a question mark, your rapid rating status is about 1300, and that's where I believe you are right now, at that level of 1200, 1300. But your performance here is 1119. That's below par, that's under par. What you can do is definitely better than this, okay? And top 10% is good. Your target is top 50%. So this is really cool. I mean, you finished 26th, right, in 245 players. That's nice. I repeat, 26th position out of 245 players. Well, I'll take that any day. From you, I'll take that any day. One more thing is, we should appreciate the fact that you have selected a good tournament to play. Although you could have selected under 1300 as well. Now, another thing why we should appreciate Ant-Man is, he has now started this new segment. Every day he posts about the tournaments. So if you are under 1300, but I know the computer has given you a rating of above 1300 with a question mark. So in case it ever goes below 1300, because then the question mark will get eliminated after a certain number of games, under 1300 is also a good option. Please remember that. I want to praise you for this. You selected a proper tournament, and look, you earned a good position. The top 10% is good. Now we'll talk a little bit about your overexcitement. And so I have titled it almost like a filmy title. Overexcitement Returns Part 1. So I'm going to give you that. When I say Part 1, well, I'm definitely going to put Part 2 there, right? So again here, Rupak, I mean, look at this. You were simply winning a piece here. The knight is for the taking. But you gave an unnecessary check. The check does come first, but hey, you're winning a piece. So it's not like you have a mating net or something. Now what you did was you played that move shown by the green arrow, which is like the unnecessary check that I'm referring to. And then that allowed the knight, the red arrow, okay, it allowed the knight to come back and block the check. So the knight was saved, the check was blocked, life is good. And your bishop still remains under attack by the pawn on c3. So clearly, your bishop was on c8. You were simply winning here. All you had to do was take the knight, and life is good. Very, very important. So sometimes I'll say it again, Rupak, you create winning positions, and the same thing applies to Dishen. Well, later on I will talk about it in detail. Dishen, you are also someone who does the same thing, okay? So guys, please, when you get to good positions, don't ruin it. You have worked hard to get those winning positions. Jay will tell you that this is lopsided development. The bishop on c1, the knight on b1, the rook on a1. Nothing moved ever from the queen side. And you are ready probably to castle. You could have taken the knight, knight f6, king side castling. Oh, white's king's already on e2. There's no question of castling. You are doing a good thing here. Why would you ruin it? Okay. So yeah, it's lopsided development. Only the king side pieces moved for white. The queen side pieces are not moved at all. And overexcitement part 2. now you tell me, why are you so mechanical? What do I mean by mechanical? I'd like to talk about this. Like some students are, like sir has asked me to move the minor pieces in the opening, development of minor pieces. I'll do that. Well, yes, sir, do that. But then I didn't say if you are getting free stuff, well, it's easy, just take it. It's not like it's a gambit or something. The e4 pawn has been just given to you as a gift. Take it, man. You played the move with the green arrow. You played knight c6. Your opponent overlooked your threat. You played the Alekhine defense, e4, knight f6. Your opponent played knight f3, or take the pawn. Take the pawn. And you know what makes me really irritated is that it's a 10-minute game that we are looking at, and the time left on the clock is 9 minutes 56 seconds. 4 seconds utilized. You take the pawn. It's not like it's well, such things are okay in ultra bullet game. When you have play the game for 15 seconds, then you can do such things. But when you are given gifts such as this, but then take it. Be a pawn up, central pawn. What more do you want? But then you just want to play mechanical. Now this is what I say, mechanical. Like Amaya sir has said, develop the minor pieces. Okay, I will develop minor pieces. Well, okay, come on. But then there is a free pawn to be had. So take that. You're not like your opponent is super developed compared to you. He also has a knight developed. You also already have developed a knight because you played the Alekhine defense. And now, look, he's just overlooked. Maybe he thought e4, e5 is what you're going to play. So he just put knight f3. So first he started the mechanical process maybe. But then you just did not take the pawn. Okay? Very, very important. Okay? It's not the end of the game, NYD. It's only for this move that he used 4 seconds, not for the entire game. But still, I think, Rupak, the point is to be noted. Now, Jay can probably answer this. What happened was, I noticed something very interesting. When he was playing that external tournament, Jay happened to play the same tournament. So this is why your coaches, they are important. Okay, they notice such things. I noticed this. Jay was also playing the same tournament. And Rupak said, oh, by the way, Jay never replied to Rupak in the chat. Okay, Rupak started with a, hey, hi, hello, Jay. Jay, why are you on a pause? No response from Jay. Now, Jay in the same tournament did not participate wholeheartedly. And now we know the reason why. Because there was a power cut, he says. So, okay, excuse. Then Jay, it is okay. So he only managed 3 games. One was lost, 2 probably wins, and still, despite of that, now watch this, the power of participation. You have 2 wins under your belt, and Jay still finished 84th out of 245, which is still in the top 30%. 30, 35, am I? Yeah. But yeah, sure, that's a good thing. Even with those 3 games played. And let me remind you, you played 11 games. So now we know why Jay paused. Rupak, maybe you got your answer because in the chat you were asking Jay, why are you on pause? So I decided to highlight this. And again, type it in the chat if you're loving this. Coaches will see, they'll observe and they'll tell you what's happening. I know what's happening. It's more to see in your profiles than you think I would know. Huh? What's up? Okay, now, is this a 10 plus 5 game? Again, so mechanical. So mechanical. Ameya sir has told me to play 10 plus 5 game. I will play a 10 plus 5 game. Oh, come on. For the love of God. I mean, you are going to play a 10 plus 5 game utilizing only 25 seconds of your time? Look at it's a mockery. Even your opponent was making mockery of a 10 plus 5 game. This is a perfect example of how not to play a rapid game. Somebody's got to highlight that in the chat. This is a good example of how not to play a rapid game. It's a 10 plus 5 game. I play 2 demo games at least per week. What do I emphasize? Well, let's wait. This week, if you recollect my 5 plus 3 game, man, that went slower than this one. You remember 5 plus 3 and then I got a checkmate at the end. I'm talking about this week. Okay. And you have 9 minutes and 35 seconds remaining. So I am saying this is not a good way. And by the way, first you play fast and then you want take back. How audacious is that? Huh? How adventurous is that? First you will play bad and then you want your opponent to allow you a take back. Isn't this too much, sir? Rupak Gokhale, that's too much. And again, I'm saying this, I would have loved it had you been there before the live lecture. For no excuse, I mean, this is no excuse. You knew that it is your day today. Give me 1 hour of your time, especially when it is your feedback. Why are others listening to this? Rupak, that's not fair. Then why did you type in the chat like I would want the feedback? If you are not going to be there for the feedback, why do you want the feedback? You should be there. The coach should be able to interact with you more so because the hub is not open right now. The online thing is the only thing that we do. So it was all the more important, Rupak, for you to be there online. I'm sorry to say, but you should have been there. I'm not impressed with this. Let's talk about the second student then. Master Abir Behre. Is he here? I wonder. He is the one we promised that we'll give the feedback to him. He was a due of feedback. And now the first things first. If we had Rupak Gokhale with only 1, 2, and 3 rapid games, this kid has got 371 rapid games. 371. Now, that's a good thing, okay? But one classical game. So, Abir, my first advice to you is that you must focus on both rapid and classical, and one game per week is definitely what you can add. One game per week. That's not too much to ask, right? You can certainly do that. Now, the game completion rate is 93%. Don't let it fall below 90%. 93 is okay, but that's only 3% margin left now. So, you want to do better than that. The rapid rating is 1081, and I honestly feel that you are a 1200 player. Not more than that at the moment. You're a new student relatively. But yeah, 1200 for sure. So maybe 100 points, about 125 points below par. The classical rating is question mark, obviously, because there's only just one game there. And the data is good as of this morning, 11:03 hours. So that's latest. Your ID is Abir Bere. Okay. The hub tournament, you can do better. You finished one place above Rupak Gokhale. 2 places, right? 2 positions, right? So 12th anyway, 1 or 2, whatever it is, a little better than Rupak Gokhale. 12th. But I still say that you can do better. And the reason, of course, subsequently I'll tell you. Because your performance is above your rating, I'll take this as a positive thing. Yes, you could have played even better, but given the fact that your rating was 10 something, your performance is 1125, okay, I'll take that. Although 1200 is desirable, and that's actually your playing strength. 1200 at least, okay? But again, the fighting spirit has been shown. You played 11 games, and that shows consistency. That's more than what Kavish and Granth and Radhesh played. The podium finishers, they played 8, 9, and 10 respectively, positions 1, 2, and 3. And you played 11 games. Somebody type about that. So that goes to show some fair level of consistent play. You didn't quit. There was no pause. You just kept at it. Well, that's nice. But the last 5 games were a loss for you. Last 5 games were loss. Very, very important. Okay. Now, this is what happens when you don't use time. Now, Rupak Gokhale would probably be so happy because his total would be more than his seconds here, like what Abir uses. Look at what happens when you don't use your time. And every Saturday, now come on, you guys have to give me a break. Like, allow your coach to sometimes praise you, like, okay, you're using your time. And maybe, Abir, I told you, why you could have done better is because of this. Lost to Arya because you used only 54 seconds. These are not the seconds remaining. Somebody type that in the chat. The seconds that you see above are the seconds that you have used. It is the utilized time. 54 seconds only. And you lost to Arya. 9 seconds only utilized. Man, I don't play so fast. And you lost to Purvesh. As if this was not enough. 3 seconds. I don't play ultra bullet so fast, my man. Okay. Let me assure you. Look at my profile. I am rated humbly at 1650, 1700 in that range. In ultra bullet, I'm saying. Ultra, like 15-second game. But even they don't finish like this. And then you lost to Kavish. If you are going to play like this, Master Abir Bere, then I'm afraid little progress can be done. But you know what? You know this yourself much better than the other students at least. Can you guess why I'm saying so? Because you are one of those students. Abir, listen to this carefully. Maybe others also will enjoy this. Some students have consistency. Either they'll play very fast, they'll play very slow. But you are somebody who has phases. Sometimes very fast, sometimes very slow. And it was, perfect for me to pinpoint what happens when Abir plays very fast. Well, you have it on your screen right now. Like when you play too fast, this is what happens. You lose to everybody. And even sometimes the players you shouldn't lose against. You lost to Arya, lost to Purvesh, lost to Kavish, 54 seconds, 9 seconds, and 3 seconds respectively. Ultra bullet games are also not so fast. So if this is what happens when you don't use time, do things change when you use time? Well, yes. You can beat players like Namish. And you can beat players like Anand, who is 400 points almost above you. Now Rupak will really enjoy this more, is it not? Because Rupak, you had the exact same chance. Exact same chance. Remember the screen I shared earlier? Like 400 points to the difference or threefold repetition. Rupak, I hope you remember. You defeated, you are relatively a new student, defeated the Ant-Man. So Aryan, your van friend, got a beating, man. What a beautiful checkmate with the queen there. Absolutely beautiful. Okay. So when you start using time, this is what Abir is capable of. And I'm proud of you. And everybody in the chat is like praising you. That's nice. That is nice. Notice the difference. Somebody type it in the chat. Do you see the difference in the time? Earlier, 54 seconds, around 50 seconds is something that you used. Now, 57 seconds is the time that remains. And you see the result. See, this is why the coach needs to tell you what you can do. I have said it so many times. Maybe you guys, think that you guys think sir will not be impressed if I lose games. Nothing like that. I lose game. Did I not lose the first demo game? 2100 did troll us. Two 2100s trolled us for the past 2 weeks with the move A3. I hope you have not forgotten that. I have not forgotten that. But then did that stop us from playing well? Man, we always bounced back and won the next 3 games, next 2 games comfortably and nicely. So don't think that if you lose games, I'll get a bad feedback. It's not about that. It's not about win or loss. But make a match out of it. Put a good fight. Enjoy your chess. 3 seconds. 10-minute game. What are you going to do? How are you going to enjoy chess? Chess is an art. If you spend time on the board, like look at the position. What's the opponent's weakness? What is he trying to do? What was the last move? When you ponder over such things, you come up with good ideas and gradually you'll build your own repertoire. But then you have to spend some time for that. So if you, spend time, if you play well and you lose, trust me, I'm not going to say anything. I would rather have you lose on time than to, lose just because you played for the sake of playing. That will lead you nowhere. Okay. That's the difference. So when you use time, okay. And Jay is saying, yeah, A3 seems to be the trend. I asked you, yeah, is A3 a trend to play? So maybe A3 is the trend. So maybe I've also crossed 2100. Hey, let's go for A3. Now I'll stick to the basics. I'm not that good that, A3, I don't think I'll pull it off. So E4 is good. 1 E4. Yeah, okay. Anyway, but sure, this is a good game and this will definitely tell you, Abir, what my student can do. I'm proud of you, Abir. Beautiful victory. Did Ant-Man praise you? Guys, in the chat, did we have Ant-Man praising him? Did he praise? Is Ant-Man here? Van Friend did praise him. So this is what you can do, okay? Now this is something again, not impressed. Hourly Ultra Bullet Arena. Hourly Bullet Arena. What's up, buddy? What's up? In classical games, you have one game played. Guys, if you remember, you can type it in the chat, right? You remember? Right at the start, when I was showing you data that is good as of this morning, I'm saying, you have just one classical game, but boy, you have interest. You playing hourly Ultra Bullet Arena, hourly Bullet Arena. That's not fair. Okay. The perfect difference between their rating was 373. So, Abir, there you go. You defeated a player who was 373 points above you. That's brilliant. Okay. And Jay has a very nice suggestion. That's good, Jay. Jay, that's good. Now, this is what I want. Itesh, Jay's contribution here. He says, please play what Ayush recommends every day in the on Telegram group. That's a nice suggestion, Jay. Yeah, I almost forgot about this point. He posts every day all the good tournaments for the day. You can select. I think, Jay, am I right? He does under 1200, 1300, 1500, 1800 and 2000, right? Let me know, guys. 5 categories. Or maybe he does more than that. Please, somebody tell me in the chat. He does that, right? So that is an important thing. And then, so Abir, this is for you. Then you can select a tournament that actually you like and then invest your time there rather than play hourly Ultra Bullet. You're relatively new. Don't go for those things. First, understand the basics and then go for those things. Occasional Ultra Bullet game you can play. Occasional bullet game, yes, you can play, but don't enter a tournament. You could have dedicated, when you say a tournament, you'll give about half an hour to an hour time for that, is it not? So why don't you play one classical game of 30 plus 0 there? You can do that, right? Yeah. So he sends, Jay is saying that he sends only 1300 and 1500. Okay, fine. But still, those are good. Play those. Anyway, let us now go to the fourth point I want to make. Is a cool performance, Abir, when it comes to external tournament. And the thing is, you finished 385th out of 935 players. I repeat that you are a new student. So the rising stars don't say, oh, come on, 385. That's out of 935 players. So that's top 41%. And for a new student, that is quite cool. Given that, his rating is 1300. Again, having said that, the performance was about at par. I have told you that what I expect from you is 1200. Your performance was 1189. Or let's say that's 11 points difference. So you can say about at par. Okay. And your target was top 50%. So you are in the top 41%. That is exceeding expectations. And 385th out of 935 after playing 9 games. Let's not forget that. He played 9 games for that. For a new player, for a new student, even to be there that long, for 9 games at a stretch, you're losing, but you still are there. Like look at the particular screenshot over here. It will tell you the story. There are the first loss, win, then loss, and loss. 4 losses in a row, then a win, again a loss. So you have to appreciate the fact that even after so many losses, Abir didn't quit. He kept playing, and your average opponent was way beyond what your rating is. Guys, somebody comment on that in the chat. I'm not sure you noticed that. Look at the average opponent you see on your screens. 1467 was his average opponent. He also had a game against 1700 because it's an hourly arena, not the under 2000 or something. And still, despite of that, by the way, yes, the average opponent rating is 1467 and his rating is about 1200. That's my assessment. So that is really good for a new student. Impressive. You can do better. Again, this is something that I told Rupak as well. How can this be a 10 plus 5 game? Ameya sir has told me to play a game. I will play a 10 plus 5 game. But can we call it 10 plus 5 game? In Rupak's case, at least he utilized some seconds. You, in your case, you have ended up with freaking 16 seconds extra. The game was 10 minutes. And when you ended the game, you had about 10 minutes and 16 seconds remaining. I mean, how can this be praised? We praised you where you deserved praise, right? But then this is not worth a praise. This is definitely worth criticizing. I mean, no, you want to be a good player, then this is not what you. The game time control at the start was 10 plus 5. You played so fast that when the game ended, then you have 10 minutes and 16 seconds because of the increment, of course. But then that shows that there hardly was any time utilized at all. So why are you playing so fast? What's the rush? And again, I say this to everybody. Like every Saturday, I have to tell you this. How do I play my demo games? I repeat that this week it was good. I played a 5 plus 3 game. We were almost down to under a minute there, right? Remember we got a checkmate there? Somebody type it in the chat. Now my 5 plus 3 game was slower than his 10 plus 5 here. So that is why I play the demo games. In order for you to understand that, okay, yes, utilization of time does help. You come up with the plans only when you utilize time. Otherwise, how will you enjoy chess? So this is something that you need to work with. And Abir, if you want feedback from me, well, definitely you can play a better 10 plus 5 game than this. I won't even take this as a 10 plus 5 game. This is, for the sake of playing, you played. I mentioned that. No, not seriously done at all. Last but not the least, who do we have now? Dishane, huh? Is Dishane with us? I think Dishane is good. First of all, let's praise Dishane because he is here. And if I am not wrong, he is here with his parents. So Dishane, congratulations for that. Praise for his parents as well. Dishane, is your father with you or are you with your mother? Please let us know who is with you before I start. That's nice. Dishane, your ID is Dishane-1. That's your Leech's ID. Master Dishane Golash. And rapid games, impressive. Over 300 games. Classical games, very impressive. 27. Avir, look at that. Rupak, look at that. 27. However, the game completion, Jay will alert you. It's at 90%. The game completion rate is 90%. And this data is good as of this morning. For you, it's 11:37 hours. The last I checked. All the details are true as of that time. Both the parents are there. Good, nice. Your rapid rating is 1136, which is not what it should be. You are 1250, a little above Abir, 100%. If I have assessed that, he is a 1200 player, you are, 1250 in my opinion. And classical rating is 1229. Again, I would say it's 1250. 1250 to 300. In classical, you can increase it by 50. Okay. So this does reflect, and that's without the question mark. Okay. Now, this is something that the parents must take seriously. And I want to talk about this once and for all. I don't want to do this every Saturday. Parents, it's important that when he completes his profile, he should put the right details. Now, what happens is some players are not okay with, they don't want to reveal their country. To that, Leeches has actually an idea. You can use the Leeches flag. And I had demonstrated that on was it last Saturday or maybe the one prior to that. You can use the Leeches flag. So Dishane's parents, please make a note of this and please type it in the chat if you are listening to this. He has put himself as an Australian there. What? I mean, Heard Islands and McDonald Islands, the Australian flag there. So this is not something that I would appreciate. First, it should be India. And if you are somebody again who's not okay, don't want to reveal that it's India, like you are a beginner, why put the Indian flag? Okay, then you can play under Leach's flag. Leach's never, makes it compulsory. It's not obligatory. But then why put something where you don't belong? What's the big deal about that? It's not your picnic dream destination. Man, you stay in Dombivli. So please correct these details ASAP, and the parents, please make a note of this if you can type it in the chat. Like, this is a pretty serious thing, and leeches might object to that. And especially because I have said this and I'll say it again, that you can play under the leeches flag. Somebody can type it in the chat. So there you have it. Dishen's parents said that, yeah, they have made a note of this. That's an important thing. Why would you put it as Australia? Anyway, let's continue. In the Hub tournament, Dishen, you had a good performance. I would have loved to say very good, but I'm saying good is because I want to see you on the podium soon. You are one of those students. Honestly, I'm not said this for the first two students, but because they have more learning to do yet. But for you, I would, in a matter of a few months maybe, I would love to see you on the podium. And that's why I said that it's a can do much better kind of a performance, overall good performance, because your performance rating is 1355. I've already said that you're 1250. So this actually again goes beyond what I have told you. So exceeding expectation. So it's okay. It's good. Your average opponent is 1356. All is good. But remember, you should target a podium finish. Very, very important. Just mentioned that use the Leach's flag or the Indian flag, and that your performance is okay, but you can finish on the podium. Now, this is something where again everybody is going to praise you. Everybody in the chat, let's praise him. Top 6%, Dishen Godash. Now, if you are thinking that, sir, you are saying I'm a podium finisher. No, you must be, saying this just because I am a small kid. No, I mean my words. And you have proven that. Top 6%. Make no mistake. Yes, you're seeing it right. Top 6%. Now that's cool. And Jay is rightly praising you. Arya Mahakal is praising you. Man, that's nice. Top 6%. And that is 7th out of 113 players. Guys, if you can please praise your, your partner or your chess buddy or whatever. 7th out of 113 players after playing proper 7 games. That's good. That's good, Dishin. Top 6. I mean, your target is like to be in the top 50%. Forget 50%. You're in the top 6%. How cool is that? Okay, you finished 7th. That's like 4 positions away from the podium out of 113 players. So now you yourself tell me, was I not justified in saying that I would love to see you on the podium? Yes, you can finish on the podium. And the performance is at par with the rating. And I said 1250, but here it is 1316. So that's even better actually. I could have actually written above par. Now, one thing, if everybody is praising you for this, well, let's have something that you can do better, something that is not good. First, we talked about changing the flag. Now, we are going to talk about why do you do this. Dishen, you have not reached that stage where you should actually ask your opponent for a draw. If it is a draw, play out a draw. Let only kings remain on the board. Or if it is by forced repetition, threefold repetition, let it be forced, let it be perpetual, but don't offer a draw. And I think Jay is going to highlight that. And why I say that is because of 2 reasons. Number 1, Leachus keeps a proper note of how many irritating draw offers are made. Guys, I want you to really understand this, okay? There is something known as fair play policy. Your opponent can say that it is distracting for you to keep sending me draw offers. And Jay, Itesh, do some work, Itesh. Where are your highlighters? Huh? Where are your comments? If you keep the draw offers, especially when they are not justified, leeches will take that seriously. Okay. Now, what happened here, why this is a mutual agreement, I say, is if you look at what you see on your screen, White offered the draw. Dishane, if Dishane's parents are watching this, again, I would love your attention. Dishane is playing with the white pieces and Dishane offered a draw to his opponent, and his opponent, of course, obviously accepted it. Okay, let's draw. That is why they mutually agreed for a draw, so it ends in a draw. That is the meaning of mutual agreement. So one player proposes that it's a draw, the other player accepts it, and yes. But the point is, Dishane, you were completely winning here. White is winning with two passed pawns. White is completely winning. You're a rook up here. Plus 7.7 is the computer assessment. Why on earth would you give a draw offer? And in Rupak's game, if you guys remember, in one of Rupak's games, the time was the problem. You remember that? He also made a draw. But that was because of time. And he was an exchange down. In your case, more than 8 minutes are there on the clock. More than 8 minutes. So Dishane's parents, if you are there, I would love it. I don't have to tell you, but in the chat you can type if you have noted such thing. He has more than 8 minutes remaining. He has one full extra rook. He is a rook up here. Dishane is winning. And he made a draw offer. And opponent obviously was very happy to take that. He was going to lose. But Dishane said, okay, let's go for a draw. Why, my friend? Why? So the simple thing, what you should do, Dishane, in future, no draw offer. You will not offer a draw. And you will not even accept it. Unless you are the one losing and your opponent returns the favor, then accept it. But you won't make a draw offer. Okay? You should not make a draw offer. No. If you are playing a game, play it seriously. This is not helping. Okay? So just make it a point that you must not offer a draw. No draw offers by human. And you know how big plus 7.7 is? I'll tell you. That's more than a bishop pair. Bishop pair is 6 points, right? 3 points for bishop. So both the bishops together, 6. And this is 7.7, so almost 8. Man, that's rook and bishop, almost. So with that kind of advantage, I mean, you could have exchanged the rooks, you had a passer on the h file, you have a pawn on the f file as well. Everything was good. You were totally crushing him. With 8 minutes. Look at how fast you played this game. 2 minor and 2 pawns. 2 minor pieces and yeah, sure. Just type it properly. When you send it in 2 different lines, it doesn't get highlighted. Both, I cannot highlight both the messages. So. All right, for our master Dishane Golash, what is going to be my next point? Show patience, buddy. Show patience. Now, you are unlike Rupak in one point. If you remember what happens with Rupak, gets nervous and becomes too excited and then he's not able to control his excitement and then he loses. In your case, Dishane, what happens is you don't have patience. And this is high time that you correct this. Once the hub reopens, I will deal with this very strictly. Parents, make a note of that. Because if you remember, prior to this pandemic, when we used to meet at the hub, well, this was your problem. No patience. The Dishane wants to finish the game. Well, then finish it with a win. Why won't you? But then because you have no patience, you lose more games. And so when you lose the rating, you will feel that, oh, maybe I'm not such a strong player. Nobody. You are a star, but you blow up your own chances. And not because of excitement or nervousness. You don't have patience. Such aggressive and initiative and tempo positions you build. I'm impressed with your play. But one thing that will bring about your downfall is if you don't show your patience. Patience is virtue. Haste is waste. Oh, somebody did type that in the chat earlier. Okay. So there is no lag. Absolutely no lag. Lag is on your side. There's no lag on my side. Absolutely. The stream is fluent as butter. All the lag is from your side. Stream is fluent. So I'm saying that you should show some patience. Simple as that. Look at this position now. This is a game that's going well. It's a 10-minute game. You have 6 minutes remaining. Okay. And okay, now let me ask. Hold on, guys. Just hold on. Let me ask Rupak something. Rupak Gokhale, there is no lag, guys. For the others, I'm saying there is absolutely no lag. You should refresh your mobile streams. There is absolutely no lag. Okay, absolutely no lag. Okay. Now, Rupak Gokhale, I'm disappointed. Why were you not there from the start? You should have been there with your parents. It is your feedback day. I wanted to tell you so many things. Guys, there is absolutely no lag. The stream is completely lag free. There is problem with your net connection. Just check it. I am officially saying this. Confirmation from my streaming device, from YouTube. The stream is absolutely fluent. There is no problem with it whatsoever. Rupak, I need an answer here. So it is very sad that there was never any lag. Don't say now no lag. There was never any lag. Otherwise, I get the intimation first. I'm streaming it, right? How come the streamer doesn't know? There is no lag. No. Okay, Rupak, coming to the point. I was sure that you will be there with your dad or your mom to watch what coach wants to say to you, the good points and the bad points, where you can do better. But you just joined now. Rupak Gokhale, that is not fair. I am not impressed. Because of the power cut. Now, come on. What area do you live, Rupak? Let's see. What area do you live? Where do you stay? Where do you stay? Just type it in the chat. Dishen, that was my last point to you. Okay. Let's just confirm. Rupak, type it in the chat. Like, what place do you stay, man? Where do you stay? So, Dishen, look at this. That was my last point to you. Like, you could have simply taken the bishop with your rook with a blue arrow, whatever you see. But what you actually played was the green arrow and the opponent took your queen. Dishen, watch what I'm saying. Watch what I'm saying. So, what happened was you played the move with the green arrow. Your opponent just took your queen, played the red arrow. You could have just won the game because rook takes bishop, the blue arrow, and Dishen is winning with 6 minutes remaining. That's what you are doing. Okay, that's not fair. And now haste is waste. Example number 2. I should have probably given that as point number 2. Like the excitement returns, nervousness returns. Remember? 93 moves you played. Okay, 93. And you had the rook and the knight, but this end you stalemated your opponent. Very bad, right? Very bad. So 93 moves, you are winning. You have the rook, king, knight, enough material to win, enough time to win. You have 6 minutes remaining, if everybody can see the time there, and you stalemated your opponent. No. Haste is waste. So good. Actually, I said that line earlier. Now we have it as a bold statement. Haste is waste. 100%. So if you want to do even better, avoid such mistakes in the future. Same feedback to you what was for the others. 10 plus 5, Dishen, Master Dishen, 10 plus 5 should be a 10 plus 5 game. Not when you only use 35 seconds 10 plus 5 game and you use 35 seconds, then can I even call it a 10 plus 5 game? Well, quick, for the parents, they should know 10 plus 5 means that Dishen has 10 minutes, opponent has 10 minutes, but look at the time remaining at the bottom. You see there, 9 minutes and 25 seconds are remaining. 9 minutes and 25 seconds are remaining. So he just played the entire game in 35 seconds. That's not what I call 10 plus 5 game. So this is again point for you to type. Like I'll play 10 plus 5 like a 10 plus 5 game. I'll play much slower, 100%. Alright, that does it. Now let's come to Rupak. He's saying that, there was short circuit. Are you alright, Rupak? Now my question has changed. I hope it was not very serious, Rupak. Guys, Rupak, please answer. Just now I'm concerned. Short circuit. Okay. He says he stays at Manpara Road in Mahavir Nagar, and even Grant says that there was an hour of power cut. But then Grant, you were with us. How come you were there with us then? Do you have battery backup or something? But I don't know. Guys, whatever it is, Rupak, I hope that you are okay and that it was not serious. Take care. Now what you need to do, okay, is to watch this feedback. Watch this video again, okay? Watch it later, the stream. We'll stop for now and we are going to meet. Oh, good to know. Rupak is saying, yeah, it's fine. Okay, watch it later. Now we will, and he'll see it later. We will now meet on Tuesday with yet another different tactical motive, and we will talk about when we will have challenges, when I'll start playing with you guys, again. Okay, 3+2. Meanwhile, we'll stop. It was an enjoyable session. Enjoyed it. Take care. Bye-bye.